Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are going to review Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 for the Xbox Series X. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can see my future content when I put it up. So, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is a stealth sniper game. It's like if Call of Duty and well, no, I'm gonna say it's more like if Call of Duty or Battlefield and Sniper Elite had a baby. It's pretty good. I like it so far. Like I'm having a good time with this game. So we did finally get the patch today for the 1440p 60 FPS mode. It's pretty good. It feels really good. I'm really happy with the performance of that. It feels really smooth. The only thing I really could complain about is the trees look more like they're 1080p. They're kind of fuzzy and stuff like that when you get close, but it does retain most of the visual quality of the 4K mode. The textures still look pretty good. The dirt textures look good. When you zoom in with the scope or the binoculars, everything looks pretty sharp, pretty crisp. So yeah, I mean the detail's still there. It still looks fairly good, but it is really tough now to choose between, because the 4K 30 mode looks really good and it's at least playable. You can play it like that. The game is slow enough paced where where it still feels okay to play it the 4K 30. That mode is freaking beautiful. The textures look really good. Everything it looks really, really nice. So, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is split up into 5 main missions with a bunch of objectives in each one and 1 training compound. The missions are either a classic contract, which is your short to medium range type environments where you're doing mostly like sabotaging things, collecting intel, taking out enemies. Just like your basic, like getting up, your kind of close quartered type stuff. A lot more. There's definitely sniping in those sections as well. I mean, you could go through them and do a sniper rifle the whole way through for the most part. And then you have your long range contracts, which are little. You go through smaller areas with few enemies and stuff to find a sniper perch, to take out targets or sabotage things from a distance. Those are probably my more favorite contracts, just because I like to get up there and like mark out my targets and pick them off by one. It's pretty satisfying. The bullet cam in this game is freaking amazing. When you hit them in the head and their head explodes and you see like pieces of bone and brain and everything, and the face kind of shakes, the skin. It's pretty graphic. It's pretty freaking graphic, but it's really cool. You see like the blood squirt through the freaking side of their head as the bullet's still going in slow motion. Like it's pretty intense. It's pretty gory. IGN would probably freak out for a game like this. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. It looks good. Like I said, IGN would probably have nightmares for the rest of their life if they had to see this or review this game. So it's definitely good in that aspect. I'm having a blast with this game. I am really enjoying it. I do like the way this is set up. I do like it's not overly complicated like the missions or anything. Like it's pretty fun. It is definitely it can be really challenging, or it can be, I mean, you could set the difficulty, from journalist up to there's 4 different difficulties. The very last one is pretty tough. Like I'm having trouble, just trying to, because the enemies are much harder and they're a lot smarter. Whereas on the journalist difficulty, marksman, they're pretty simple. Like it's pretty simple. You can get right through. There's a little red dot that puts it, wherever you're gonna shoot. On the higher difficulties, you have to judge wind speed. You have to judge, your bullet drop. There's different levels to set your scope. You to like kind of to focus in better. It can be really simplistic, or it can be pretty tough. Um, there are you have different things that you can collect, like collectibles, while you're playing these missions. There's definitely a lot of replayability when it comes to these missions. I have one more area to complete, and then I'll be done with the game. And I would say you can get through it pretty quick, or you can take your time. It's definitely made to where you can replay these missions multiple times. So, sorry. Um, there's 4 different subclasses that you can use points that you gain after completing missions to. Each subclass has 3 different skill trees that will let you unlock things from being able to carry extra ammo, to having more body armor, to having the ability to see through walls and mark targets. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's not super robust. There's maybe four or 5 different things per little skill tree. So I mean, it's not like overly ambitious. There's not like these big long giant skill trees. It's pretty simplistic in that form. You also earn money for all the contracts that you complete. There you could purchase new weapons. You could purchase new accessories for those weapons. You could change out your camo after you find that in levels. So yeah, there's definitely some replayability to it. The price, I think, for this game, $40, is pretty fair. You get either a stunning visual experience with the 4K 30 mode, or a highly optimal, 60 frames a second with good enough visuals to where it doesn't drag it down. It actually looks pretty decent. It's not a bad game. So if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 100, I would give this an 85. I think this is a pretty solid package. The game, now that it's updated and it has, all the Xbox Series X features, I'm pretty content with the way this game is. I would say an 85 is a pretty fair rating for this game. It's definitely put together. It definitely functions well. I haven't had any bugs, any glitches, any stuff like that. I've been stuck in the environment one time, and that was because of the way I climbed on a box and fell in between, them, because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. So I've only had one instance of that, and I've played through a lot of these levels. I've played through a lot of it. I've explored a lot of the environments and stuff. These maps are fairly decent sized. I mean, they're not like huge open worlds, but they are pretty. They're pretty big, and they're pretty dense. They're pretty. There's lots of stuff in here. On the 4K mode, when you look out over the cliffs and stuff, you can definitely see texture clear out into the distance. It looks really good. The 1440p mode, not as much, but it is still there. It doesn't look terrible. The only thing that I can really that I really want to address, and I wish the developers would give us this information, is if this game is forced parity with the PlayStation 5 version, because I still feel like, even though this game is made on the Crytek engine, I still feel that the Xbox Series X would have enough power to possibly hit like 1800p at 60 frames a second, which would definitely make things a lot better looking in the performance mode. But I mean, that, I guess that doesn't really matter. As far as I'm concerned, this game is still playable. It's still worth your $40. It's definitely a solid 85. So if you like this content and you thought this was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.